In today's story, one of our heroes has to deal with 5 old men constantly fighting for the right to be inside his body. Honestly, for once, I just can't believe we're not talking about Duke Devlin. Become very disappointed in Yu-Gi-Oh! My fellow and future outlaws. This is Card Games vs. Humanity, and I am the NAKA Double G. Here with a recap of that show, where if it didn't have context, it'd sound like a horror show that's constantly talking about stealing children's bodies, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. If you enjoyed, don't forget that sub, that bell, that like, become a member of the channel or the Patreon if you want to support me. Leave a comment telling me if the writers actually forgot that Yugi was in the name of the show, because he doesn't do a single useful thing throughout this entire episode. Seriously, it's bad. Really as badly as Noah's giving the Big Five a big fat scolding for not following through with his rules. Just doing what old men do best when they can't figure something out, just take it by force until sexual assault charges are filed.
We understand that you have laws, but we must escape from this place. And to do that, we need bodies.
Let's all pretend like that's not the exact line of dialogue you'd hear in a speech right before a prison break. This bit appears and says, I'm gonna take off now. I won Tristan's body in that duel that I actually lost and legally don't have any rights to. And you can't argue with me because this was determined by the highest law of order in the land card game. Being the one that calls the shot, Noah decides what's right and wrong. Noah says you must have all 5 men share Tristan's body all at once, and don't worry, thanks to his nights at the club, that's something he can totally handle. Let's all take a break from the old man talking about stealing bodies to head back to Kaiba and the gang spending quality time together. Seto tries to take off right away in an effort to find Mokuba. Taya uses her special move, Tit Deflect, deflecting all current conversation to her massive chest, causing Kaiba to halt in his tracks. Unfortunately for her, though, these titties are real and not holographic, so Seto is not interested. Once again, proving his family pride by telling everyone to stay out of his business. No, that's exactly what a Gallagher would say about 10 minutes after he got some random person involved or injured in his bullshit.
But is our friend, and we want to help him.
Why don't you worry about him instead?
Up there!
How the fuck did he even sense Tristan on the top of a cliff from about a mile away? Kaiba just walks away immediately as everyone just stands around, quickly realizing that it isn't actually Tristan. Turns out it's not even Nesbit, it's the entire Big Five all crammed into Tristan's body. Really, this won't cause the actors to say things you probably shouldn't say on a kid's show, right?
They're all using Tristan's body.
Today's special is 5 for 1.
Our heroes wonder what they must do to get Tristan's body back safely from them. I mean, why duel, of course? What the fuck else do you do on the show? They challenge Yugi to a 5-on-1 duel that kinda really isn't. Something Yami is fiercely ready for because it's been nearly 15 episodes since he's dueled and the hunger is rising. We then get a small clip of Blizzard's developers talking about 5 seconds after their last Diablo 4 livestream panel.
I can't believe you two are actually arguing as if we're going to keep our word.
Despite Yugi being at the ready, Joey demands that he join this battle as well, saying that 5 versus 1 is very uneven. 5 versus 2, that's less uneven. I mean, technically he's right, but somehow just still feels stupid. Yugi says, I'm fine with this, I could use some cannon fodder. I mean, a loyal partner. Yes, that is definitely what I meant to say. Despite being the garbage lawyer that lost to Joey in the previous duel even after cheating, claims that Mr. Wheeler actually sucks and will just bog Yugi down in this duel, leaving an easy victory for all 5 of them. Since it's 1 versus 2 bodies in this duel, they'll actually start with 8,000 life points instead of 4,000. 8,000 life points, dude? That's insane. That's way too many. Our heroes accept the terms of engagement, being forced to choose their decks immediately because why would anyone actually choose different cards ever? Why would they choose them ever? Joey sees the Cyber Harpy in the list of cards, triggering a flashback that I'm sure is perfectly accurate.
All right, my dear. Enjoy your trip to the Shadow Realm.
Okay, that was 100% not Yami Merrick's voice. Why even redo this one scene when you reuse literally everything else? Duel begins as Yugi chooses his deck master, the almighty dark magician who comes out pelvic thrusting towards the camera for some reason. I guess he just had to make up for Joey being boring and choosing the flame swordsman again. And as you guessed, the Big Five will rotate their deck masters because just mashing 5 different decks together will definitely not cause any synergy problems at all. The cunning Gansley and the Deep Sea Warrior decide to begin the duel. But unfortunately, old age seems to be getting to him as the simple act of drawing a card causes him to pass that kidney stone he's been tussling with all morning.
I'll begin.
Beginning the duel with the legendary Ocean, a magic card that causes all Mitre characters to run away as if it's actually going to kill them, before summoning a 5-star monster directly to the field, the legendary Fisherman. Don't worry, the show does take about the next 60 seconds straight explaining why this mechanic works, so you know it must actually be important. Like usual, Yugi just says, be very careful, Joey. He really does say that a lot, doesn't he? Anyways, he listens thoroughly and just summons Alligator Sword in defense mode and ends his turn. That was such a masterful move. Let's head back to Duke and Taya, who are still not sure if this monkey is Tristan or not, even though it'd be pretty easy just to ask him a question that they would only know the answer to. Never mind, it's back to the duel, and when it's Yugi's turn, you know he's ready to lay the smackdown on these old pathetic creeps. Lay it down by summoning Gazelle in defense mode and ending his turn. Oh, wow. They both kind of suck. Suck just about as much as Gansley's dueling in his one turn that it was apparently far too long and now Crump wants in.
These kids don't realize that the countdown to their destruction has begun.
There's an American education joke in there somewhere, but unfortunately because I have an American education, I can't seem to figure it out. Crump is all about the numbers, baby, and that 200 attack point boost from his Deckmaster ability is all powerful and totally means a lot. Just attack and defense position Gazelle on Yugi's side of the field that you could have anyway. One big mistake he did make though was summoning Catapult Turtle to the field, one of Yugi's former lovers that he knows will never betray him and attack him even if he's in someone else's deck. But ignore all that because we're back to Seto, who has somehow traveled a few miles in the span of a few minutes. Seems to be traveling up a truly absurd amount of stairs that somehow look they were still created by slave labor inside of a video game. Because obviously that ancient temple at the top is where Mokuba is going to be hiding, not just the back of the dark room that Noah had him in the last episode when they had already taken off. Seto says that Noah's story must be bullshit or else he'd be the same age as him. Which I'm not sure is 16 or 18 at this point because Kaiba is fucking tall and looks 26 for the next 26 years if Yu-Gi-Oh! GX has anything to say about it. Claims that maybe the Big Five put him up to this, but wait, no, they're way too stupid, so there must be just something I'm missing. Back to the duelist, Joey's turn in with a hand completely stacked full of magic cards. Make me generally wonder why every player in this season has double snare in their deck, like legitimately no one ever uses it. Summon Cyber Harbor to the field before laying Kunai with Chain in his back row before you head over to Yugi, who has a devastating move to play.
I summon Mystical Elf. Now let's see what you can do, Crump.
Jesus, Yugi, do you forget how to duel in the last 15 episodes that you weren't the main character on screen? I mean, you literally have card destruction in your hand and could just ask Joey the simple question of, hey, how are the cards in your hand? You mind if I use this? But no, that would require actual logic. Mr. Johnson wants in on this duel because one turn is passed and that's way too long, but Crump says, no way, man, I'm a penguin and there's still some water on the field, so let me splash around for a bit. Let me attack the Cyber Harpy with Legendary Fisherman and get caught by the Kunai with Chain. Causing the other Big Five to get pissed at me because I was a total basic bitch with my strategies.
The longer I stay in here, the more I feel like swinging from a tree and scratching my armpit.
So you're saying that's not a good feeling to have? Joey Wheeler, the literal MVP of this duel currently, tossed in a Harpy's Feather Duster, sweeping away that pesky Legendary Ocean before attacking the Legendary Fisherman. The monster he's honestly probably destroyed more than anything else at this point, because the Catapult Turtle has such a gigantic sweet ass. Must attack that face down card instead, which Yugi somehow knows is Magician of Faith because he freaks out like crazy about it. Turning the Legendary Ocean to Tristan's hand despite having card destruction in his hand and can do just, you know, he can use that next turn. Now, with everyone having a brand new hand to play with, surely Yugi's about to make a big play, right? He's not just going to end his turn right. He ends his turn.
This duel is beginning to take its toll on Yuki and Joey, but the Big Five keep rotating players to keep themselves fresh, and that's why they're winning.
First off, no one really has a significant advantage at this point yet, and secondly, didn't he lose 450 life points with Cyber Harpy attack the Legendary Fisherman? Are we just going to pretend that didn't happen? The episode ends with Kaiba yelling off into the distance, wondering where Mokuba has run off to. So honestly, it's anyone's guess what episode this could be. Well, that's it for this episode. I want to thank you all for watching, and of course, a shout out to all my channel members and patrons. I bet you think I'm going to say something clever, don't you? Too bad. This is Man the Man from Earth with all the Earth. Be the character. Know your worth. Let's all pretend that's not. Beginning the duel with a magic card, a Legendary Ocean. Beginning the duel. Just doing what old men do best when they can't figure something out, just taking it by force until sexual assault child. 5